Take two. All right, welcome back to Getting Sober, again. My name is Jay, and today is Friday, February 26th, and I am here to tell you, thank you. Thank you for being here. That's not the whole podcast. I already did that episode. Showing gratitude and being thankful for all of you. But today, I wanted to talk about a little bit, about where we are with this channel and where, you and I might be with regard to this landscape that might be a little depressing, We have to be mindful of the telltale signs of what's going on around us and how the world can really be affecting us. It's kind of tough when we sit there and think about we have good intentions or we have our best intentions, right? And the world still seems to bring us down, and we still seem to struggle with the temptation of wanting to drink or smoke or, whatever your vice is. And when we have this, when we're in this position, it's a little bit scary, especially right now. During the filming, like I said, during the filming of this episode, it's still COVID and things are still shut down. And the ways that we were used to interacting with other people might not be an option, right? I mentioned in previous episodes, some of the things and some of the places I used to go to aren't open anymore. They're just closed for good. And then some places are just closed, they're closed temporarily. Some places are starting to open back up again. Some music venues like where I live, they're doing they're doing tables, like table reservations. You can get a table of 4 and sit down at a concert. And it's I don't want to do that. But I'm kind of a, how do I phrase it? I'm an eccentric introvert. So sometimes, I DJ and I'm all about, I've been around town. I've performed in front of hundreds of people and thousands of people, not hundreds of thousands of people, but hundreds and thousands of people. And, but sometimes, I definitely like my alone time. I definitely need to respect my own energy and recharge my own batteries, And yesterday I was just I wasn't really feeling it. Yesterday I made an episode about it was my 2 months. It was a big day. It was my 2 months of not smoking. But just from the onset of the day, I did everything right on paper. So I thought. I got enough rest, I thought. I went to the gym. I ate mostly healthy. I took my prayers, or took my vitamins, said my prayers. I did everything that Hulk Hogan told me to do, right? And still, I was feeling heavily depressed. And I was talking to a friend of mine. I put out a Facebook post, and I said, it was something along the lines of, did anybody else feel like their entire life force was depleted today? And what happened yesterday, it's then I'm seeing news articles talking about gas prices are going to go back up to about $4 a gallon next month. And I'm like, what are you guys talking about? Historically, the media have a way of preparing us for bullshit. I'm just going to say it. That's a conspiracy theorist in me that's based in truth and reality because it's happened. There's, if you're not familiar with things like Project Mockingbird, it's a very real thing. You can search, after you're done watching this video, search Operation Mockingbird, where they go from city to city to city, broadcasting the same exact scripted message. One of them was, you don't need us to tell you that gas prices are on the rise. And they would say that same message in Baltimore and in Detroit and Cleveland and Sacramento. And sorry, I just shaved and exfoliated and my face is really itchy. With Project Mockingbird, they would have the same message repeated all over the place. And they've done that over time and over history, and it's proven. Those things happen. And when we're living in this time and in this space and we don't know what's real, we don't actually know what news is real, and we don't know what news is fake. And we had a former president that would just call everything fake news that wasn't favorable to him. We don't know what to believe. And it's really tough. It's really hard to not know what we can count on, what we can rely on, what the truth is, if there's something wrong with me, if there's something wrong with my environment, is there something wrong with the relationship that I'm in? Is there something wrong with my coworkers? Is there something wrong with the place that I work, with the place that I live? we're always constantly questioning everything, as we should, but at the same time, it's not good for our mental health, right? And so I was talking to a friend of mine, she's got 2 little kids at home, and she was saying to me that in response to my post about feeling like my life force was drained yesterday, like I ended up having to take a nap I just threw in the towel at like 6:30 p.m. yesterday. I just went up to my room, I turned the lights off, and I laid down for an hour. And then after an hour, after a nap, sometimes a nap will just change your whole life, right? And I've said that in previous episodes. Sometimes you just need to listen to your body. Sometimes you just need to chill out. Sometimes you need to just relax. Sometimes you need to recharge your batteries. Sometimes you need to be kind to yourself, It's easy to get caught up in the racket of wanting to be there for other people and wanting to be of service to others, and actively procrastinate and trade our time and feel like, well, we're doing something good in lieu of something that we need to do, like self-care, right? Like rest. And, last weekend I I issued a challenge, to you if you wanted to, which was to not drink for the weekend. So if you didn't drink last weekend, comment below, and I'll issue the same challenge to you this weekend. So don't drink. And if you're on board, comment below. But yeah, so it's, right now, during COVID, during things being shut down, during things not being normal, and not knowing what's the new normal is going to be. Some restaurants, some businesses are just going to be permanently closed, though the buildings will remain, and new businesses will come about. Maybe your plan is to open a new business. Maybe you got some loan money or some supports, or you figured out that, maybe that retail space that you've always wanted, now that one is coming open, right? And while we're sitting there thinking well, maybe now this is a great time to write out my business plan, you do something like actively procrastinate and you mop the whole house instead until you're too tired. You do a bunch of chores, or you do a bunch of running around, or you tire yourself out at the gym. You do something else in replace of what you want to do, or what you need to do, I should say, right? So it's definitely important to make sure that you are taking care of yourself. And of course, everybody wants to have somebody to count on and somebody to rely on. And maybe that's why you watch this channel, and I watch other channels. I go to other support groups and online forums, which reminds me, if you happen to be on Reddit or Facebook or Instagram, or whatever, Twitter, and if you wouldn't mind taking a few seconds to repost any of these videos, it would be very helpful to me. That's also one of the things I learned that helps YouTube determine whether or not your content is shareable, or if it should expose your content to other YouTube viewers if it's actually reposted online somewhere, right? So, because Google owns YouTube, and YouTube works together in conjunction with all of those algorithms, right? So I go to other resources as well. And sometimes it's definitely hard. In the beginning when I wanted to make this channel and call it Getting Sober Again. I didn't really know the path or the direction of the channel, other than I was going to just be sober, and I was going to hold myself accountable. That was the main, just basic point of it. If that was my business plan, my business plan would be like, make a YouTube channel about getting sober, document my journey and hold myself accountable, and find other people that also are, that also relate to the content. And that's still pretty much the message that I have going on today, though I've learned new things, and I share those things with you because, maybe you'll want to be a content creator someday. Maybe you'll want to start your own YouTube channel, or host a podcast, or whatever it is. And if you do, comment below and, find me later and let me know how you're doing. I always like to hear from you in the comment section. I was talking to another friend today when I was at the gym, and he was telling me that he's a big fan of my channel and of this channel, and I know that he's struggling with drinking and whatever else. And he was telling me, he's been kind of like guilted by some of his coworkers for sticking up for or defending other people a little too much. And but he was defending people a little bit too much. And in that, I reminded him, it's really easy for a lot of us in this position to want to care for other people or to look out for other people. Because in that, we know that we want to be of service. We know that we want to improve. We want to self-improve. And we know that we have some of the tools and we have some of the resources, but holding ourselves accountable and doing the work is the hardest thing. And when we're not sure if we can count on ourselves and rely on ourselves, we tend to maybe feel like we're letting ourselves down, which then causes guilt and then causes depression and then causes anxiety. And then we turn to our trusty old crutch, drinking. And then we drink and then we don't care anymore. And then it's bedtime or we pass out or whatever the case is. And then it's tomorrow again. And then we say, and like, we'll seize the day tomorrow, you know, carpe diem mañana, so to speak. And then that cycle starts all over again, and then you do it all over again, and then it's another week later, and then it's another month later, and then a whole season passes by, and then, well, it's springtime, now we can go outside, and then it's summertime, it's like, well, of course, we're gonna have some drinks on the beach, and, you know, let's just back in this way, I don't have a problem, I have a preference, you know, you ever say that? Comment below. I have a drinking preference, I don't have a drinking problem, I just do it socially, and it's like, me too. That's why I went through the trouble of making this whole channel in all these episodes. I think this is episode number 64 now, just because I have a preference. I'm like, it's a little bit of a problem. I don't really know how to control I don't have self-control with regard to it. And I don't have discipline with regard to it. You know, when I do it, I am definitely a more is more type of person. And as stupid as it sounds, like I know that nothing is gonna feel better than the first buzz. The first drink, nothing feels better than that. The second drink doesn't feel as good as the first one. The third drink doesn't feel as good as the second or the first one, and so on and so forth. Then it becomes just a waste of money. I'm wasting money, I'm going to the bathroom, I have a headache, now I need to eat some emergency food and get home safely. Yeah, it's just, it got a little bit tiring for me, to be honest. And I'm glad that I'm not in that position anymore. And I'm glad that some of you are no longer in that position either. And I want you to be mindful of where you are in your journey and what's actually happening around you, what's going on in the world around you. You know, we don't have all of the options that we've had to be the person that we want to be, to travel, to be social creatures, which we are. We aren't supposed to be in solitude, right? We aren't supposed to just be trapped in basements recording videos to the outside world. You know, it is part of us that we want to, and it's part of, you know, who we are in our DNA, that we're supposed to be social. We are supposed to relate to others. We want to relate to others. And that's also part of why I make these videos, because I know that there are people out there that relate to this content just like I relate to other people's content. So in that, be mindful of your progress, be kind to yourself, and make sure that you're doing what you need for yourself before you take the big leap of trying to help other people. It does take a lot of energy. And if you're not capable, you're not suited to be able to give all of that effort and that energy, know that it doesn't always come back. You know, I make these videos like, I don't know if it's gonna come back. I don't know if this is gonna be a fruitful effort for me in the future. I don't know if I'm gonna ever make any money off this. I don't know how long I could do it. I just know that I can do it right now. And I know that it's working for me right now. And that's all we can worry about, is just staying sober right now and doing what we need to do right now to take care of ourselves and not worry about the future, which is going to bring us anxiety, and not dwell too much in the past, which is going to make us feel too depressed. To make the decision right now, to make a better decision right now, to make a better decision after you watch this video, to make a better decision after that. Maybe a little less sugar, maybe a little less carbohydrates, whatever it is for you, maybe a little less alcohol or none at all, whatever your vice is, maybe a little less or none at all, you know? Maybe commenting below might be a better decision than self-deprecating behavior, or getting on Facebook or social media and seeing, you know, everybody that's going out and getting ready for it's the weekend, it's Friday, what is everybody doing? And getting caught up in the FOMO as things are starting to open back up. And you say like, well, other people are doing it. And well, like, I just want to be out. I'm losing my mind over here. It's like, you know, I'm not going to tell you what you can or can't do. That's not my position. My position is to be of service to you in the way that I know how to, which is to let you know that I relate to what you're going through, and to try to be of support to you, and to help motivate you to make better decisions instead of worse decisions. So with that, I'm going to end today's video. good luck this weekend, and make sure that you do comment below and let me know where you're at on your journey and what's going on in your mind, in your head, anything that you're excited about or sad about. I look forward to hearing from you, and if you haven't yet, please like and subscribe to this channel, and I will see you in the next video.